HINDRAF has caught the wave of the yearnings of the Indian poor for justice and for a better life in the country. We had a massive impact in the last general elections. For the last 5 years, we continued to struggle for the human rights and dignity of the Indian poor in many ways. 8 months ago, we began a new phase of negotiations with the two political coalitions on a plan for the upliftment of the Indian poor, summarized in HINDRAF's 5-year blueprint to bring the Indian poor and marginalized into the mainstream of national development. Our promise to both the political divide was that if either coalition would endorse our blueprint in a binding way, we would call on all our Indian poor compatriots to throw their support behind them in the coming elections. These efforts are culminating in what we are about to witness, the public endorsement of our blueprint by the Barisan National Coalition. This has indeed been a long march for us. It is indeed a new beginning for the Indian poor. I want to tell you all today, in the clearest terms, that we see this as merely the start of a new leg of our journey. We are a determined lot. We do not give up till we meet our objectives, which is to bring our poor Indian compatriots into the mainstream of national development. Our struggle continues, only in a different form. The document that we are about to sign today is the outcome of many hours of intense negotiations, in many instances going into the wee hours of the night. We have agreed finally on a joint program of socio-economic interventions for the advancement of the Malaysian Indians, and we capture this in what we now call the Barisan National and HINDRAF's 5-year blueprint to bring the Indian poor into the mainstream of national development. Effectively, Barisan National has come through with this commitment to endorse our proposals and to implement them if they win these forthcoming elections. In the course of negotiations, we realized that there are indeed winds of change in the thinking of the leadership of the Barisan National, and the Barisan National and the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib is serious about the past policy shortcomings and is willing to make necessary amendments to correct the outcomes of those lapses. It is clear our Prime Minister is sincere and willing to take the needs and aspirations of the Indian poor far more seriously. This is exactly in line with our primary objective. HINDRAF has been loyal to its cause and remains so today, more than ever. Where we have changed, we have done so towards giving substance to our commitment to a multiracial, multicultural Malaysia. Where we have changed, we have done so in the interest of doing what is best for the Malaysian Indian community, particularly the Indian poor. Given that the Barisan National and the Prime Minister is committed and willing to work with us on a concrete plan of action for the Malaysian Indian poor, indicated in their willingness to endorse our 5-year blueprint, we have decided to partner with Barisan National for the sake of the future of the Malaysian Indian community. As we repeatedly have said, that what we really need is change that affects the lives of the people. We do not just need change in faces of people or in the names of people who lead this country. We want to see concrete, tangible change that causes improvement to the lives of the people. In our discussion during these negotiations, Barisan Nasional, under the leadership of Datuk Seri Najib, is making changes from within. HINDRAF too wants sustainable and beneficial outcomes for all Malaysian Indians, and the changes that BN is now willing to implement and to make fall well within our primary requirements of the new government after the next general elections. The Prime Minister and his Barisan Nasional partners are resolved to bring about true change in the lives of the Indian poor, and this is clear from their willingness to implement concrete and permanent plans as stipulated in the Memorandum of Understanding that is about to be signed today. This is why we have decided to join hands with the Barisan Nasional. Dato' Sri, this historic understanding between us is subject to criticism by various parties. One of the criticisms is that after the elections are over, and regardless of the agreement that we make today, that we will not get what has been promised to us. And we hope, Dato' Sri, you would prove all of them wrong. Dato' Sri, I stand here on behalf of the poor and underclass Malaysian Indians and all those people who have faith that HINDRAF is the voice of the voiceless and minority community.
Hari ini akan tercatat satu detik yang bersejarah dalam perkembangan politik tanah air kita. Today will be etched in the annals of Malaysian history as a very historic day. For I believe that the Malaysian Indians have contributed much, have contributed a great deal to the development of Malaysia, particularly in the estate sector. And Malaysian Indians deserve their rightful place under the Malaysian sun. And when we pledge, we want to help and support all Malaysians who are poor, who are marginalized. It should be irrespective of ethnicity, color, creed, or religion. And if there are Malaysians who have been marginalized, who are out of the mainstream of development, not because of their own fault or wrongdoing, then we must put it right. For this is what Barisan Nasional should stand for: a government for all Malaysians, a government that is fair for all Malaysians, and a government that is courageous enough to not only make changes but accept their own weaknesses and faults. I have apologized for the shortcomings of the Barisan Nasional government, including our, as Mr. Veramurthy puts it, lapses in our delivery for the Indian community. But as the saying goes, better late than never. What is important for us, not only change, but real change and real progress.